There are multiple ways to define the term free will. One of those definitions is the capacity to make choices undetermined by past events. So do you have free will? You might say, of course I do. Unless I'm being forced by someone else, or I'm in an unlucky position where I don't have any choice of action, I'm free to do whatever I please. But are you really? Maybe you've heard of the word determinism. It's the philosophical view that all events are determined completely by previously existing causes. But if everything is part of a cause and effect chain, going back all the way to the Big Bang, how are you truly free? Could you really claim to be the true author of your actions? After all, you're part of this universe and subject to the same physical laws. You're not free to disobey the law of gravity, or free to go without water more than a couple of days. Your brain, the thing that should harbor this free will, is not outside of the physical universe. It's subject to the same laws. It's not exempt from the rule of causality. Your brain has evolved over billions of years through natural selection. And your identity, your memories, your likes and dislikes have been shaped by a combination of your parents' genes and your upbringing, your environment, and all the experiences you have gathered throughout your life up to this very point in time right now. So imagine you're sitting in front of the TV, deciding on what Netflix movie to watch. And this choice is completely up to you. There's no boyfriend or girlfriend telling you their own preferences. It's just you and your own mind. On the view of determinism, the choice has already been made for you by the universe. You might think, I'm gonna pick The Godfather because it's a classic and I haven't seen it in a while. While in fact, from the point of view of the universe, or you might call it God, you were always going to pick The Godfather. So you see, it seems like determinism and free will can't both be true. The view that that is so is what's called incompatibilism. Compatibilists, on the other hand, do argue that both free will and determinism are true, hence they're compatible. But their definition of free will most likely differ from the definition I gave in the beginning of this video. They define an instance of free will as one in which an agent had freedom to act according to their own motivation. That is, the agent was not coerced or restrained. I personally don't find this conception of free will really satisfying. It shows something is compatible with determinism, but that something is not what people usually mean when they talk about free will. What they call free will is that feeling that they could have done otherwise, where the universe just turned back in time to the exact conditions of before. So it seems like compatibilists show that freedom of at the level of the action is there, but not freedom at the level of motivation. Arthur Schopenhauer famously said that man is free to do what he wills, but he's not free to will what he wills. In other words, although a person might often be free to act according to their motives, the nature of that motive is determined. If you want to get to know more on the topic of free will, I would highly recommend you read Sam Harris' book on free will. That really has influenced my thinking on this topic, and needless to say, he is a big proponent of this idea of the illusion of the free will.